With oil prices falling along with other commodities, Bolivia's economy is taking a hit. But the country has a metallic ace up its sleeve, especially with the world demanding more electronic gadgets. CCTV's Dan Collins has more from Lima, Peru.
Rusting steam engines fall apart in this stark landscape. Relics of a better time in Uyuni, a poor town in Bolivia's south. These defunct locomotives sit as a reminder of a past bonanza, with hopes a new one could transform the fortunes not only here, but in the entire country. It's lithium carbonate to be precise, a vital element in energy storing electric batteries, which could revolutionize the fossil fuel reliant car industry. Bolivia has the world's largest untapped reserves of lithium, but in terms of production, it's still very much catching up with its competitors. The government of Evo Morales says that this green energy resource should be processed and refined in Bolivia. But some analysts are asking, when will those lithium dreams become a reality? This is Bolivia's first lithium processing plant. The metal comes from the briny waters of the Salar de Uyuni, a salt flat so large it can be seen from space. The spectacular 10,000 square kilometre expanse is one of Bolivia's foremost tourist attractions, drawing travellers from around the world. But Bolivia is more interested in what's underneath this natural wonder. The salty solution evaporates, leaving the minerals in these enormous pools.
The process is simple, natural evaporation. What we do is extract the solution here, which has sulfate, chloride, potassium, sodium, magnesium, and lithium itself. We get this solution and then put it in the pool.
What's extracted and processed at the Yipi plant is mostly potassium chloride, often used as fertilizer. It's useful, but much less profitable than the huge amounts of lithium carbonate under the salt crust. Plant manager Oscar Mamani says nothing is wasted.
So what Oscar's explaining is that the concept of this plant is to use everything that can be extracted from the salt pan. So while the principal products are lithium carbonate and potassium chloride, as you can see here, all this byproduct is being used to extract all the other salts, such as calcium, among others, which can be extracted from this, and all of them are used. So nothing here goes to waste.
Experts say the price for lithium carbonate is expected to rise as demand increases for electric car batteries. But those who work in the plants say Bolivia's production is nowhere near capacity.
The truth is, we're still at the pilot stage and not at an industrial level. Despite this, our goals for the pilot stage are big. We will reach the industrial level in 2018, producing 350,000 tons of potassium chloride.
Some analysts say Bolivia's focus on developing its own industry has slowed its emergence as a major lithium producer.
We are at risk, in terms of missing the boat of the lithium market. You see, now the market is already booming, and this is the time to enter the market. We don't know what's going to happen next because, lithium prices are quite high right now. And as you probably know, high prices are an incentive to look for substitutes. And there are some substitutes around.
Analysts hope the lithium resources might cushion the country from the drop in the price for gas, its current economic mainstay.
For the electric car era, you need Bolivia. So Bolivia is going to be part of this game, but we don't know when. The sooner the better. The government doesn't seem to be ready for that.
All right, well, Dan Collins is joining us live now from Lima, Peru. Dan, given the drop in gas and mineral prices, how will Bolivia maintain its strong economic growth?
Well, that's the question many people are asking in Bolivia. As you've just seen, lithium is, the industry in lithium is still taking its first baby steps, so it's not really ready to step in and bail out the economy. Bolivia's economy already has a trade deficit of around $1 billion, and export profits have been impacted. Now, some analysts are saying that there's been insufficient investment in gas exploration to try and guarantee a steady supply of the main export for the country, even though prices have dropped. On the other hand, the internal economy in Bolivia and consumer spending is still growing. There's a strong emerging indigenous middle class, which is dominating the import market. So Bolivians aren't feeling the pinch yet, but there's no signs that we're going to see the same 5% clip of growth of previous years in the future.
Now, Dan, President Evo Morales has put Bolivia on the path to prosperity, but there have also been some concerns about corruption, as well as a slowdown in Brazil and Argentina. How are all these issues affecting investment there?
Well, last year, in 2015, government spending was able to sort of cover the hole which was left by the slowdown in the economies of key investment partners such as Brazil and Argentina, which buy Bolivia's gas. Now, corruption has impacted this government in particular, and it will impact and will have an impact on the political outlook in the country. Corruption allegations which directly implicated the president himself caused him to lose a referendum last month in February, in which Bolivians voted against allowing him to run for a fourth term in office in 2019. So that means that Evo Morales will be in power for another 3 years. There's no big changes expected for the next 3 years, but there is some uncertainty after 2019. There's no clear successor to Evo Morales in his government, in his party, and the opposition is still weak and divided. So I think investors will be looking with some uncertainty about the long-term future in Bolivia, but it looks like for the short term, at least, there's no big changes on the horizon.
All right, well, thank you for keeping an eye on that for us. Thank you to Dan Collins there live for us in Lima, Peru.